Hey coach, what skills do I need going into my first fight? Well, it all depends on who you are. If you have background, how athletic you are, your conditioning, what experiences you have in other martial arts skills, it all depends. So you're a first time fighter, you want to fight, more specifically, you want to win. What do I need? Well, if you're lucky enough and you have a background and you come from wrestling, boxing, kickboxing, or something similar to MMA already, then you're going to depend on all of your competitions that you've already participated in. And sometimes this even applies to guys who've had football or soccer, something with some contact in it specifically, or maybe you come from one of those rough basketball leagues and you were just lucky enough, or sometimes you come from a really athletic program in a basketball or football, baseball program, and that competition can help as well because you will have participated with some of the best athletes on the planet. And not only are you going to lean on that competition experience, you'll have that mindset for victory. You'll have the mindset for training. You'll know how to enter the training room with an attitude to get things done, see it to the end, and you won't slack off. And the biggest thing about your background are your skills. You're going to lean heavily on your skills. You're not going to substitute a lot of tried and true things that you know, for a lot of new things. You're going to do what you know over and over and over and over, and you're going to apply them. That is the advantage of coming in when you have a background. And we see this a lot when people come in from wrestling, specifically grappling backgrounds, they go into MMA. If you don't have the background, then you want to be well-rounded. You want to pick a focal point somewhere in the grappling range, the punching, the kicking, the clinching, somewhere. You want to pick a focal point and develop your other skills around that focal point. And you also want to develop a strategy where you're a revolving door. In other words, you know that you're just well-rounded. So the real key to being well-rounded is never settling or favoring one. So at that point, you are kind of able to just go from one to the other. Once you see that your opponent's trying to adjust to your behavior. And that's going to be your secret weapon, your superpower, so to speak. And also, well-rounded people tend to fight to the end. They do a little bit better in just fighting to the end. You're not looking to finish. You'll take it if it's there. If the choke's there, you'll take it. If the knockout's there, you'll take it. But for the most part, going into your first fight, you want to win the fight. So well-rounded is a good way to develop that mindset to fight to the end. Develop the basics. This is number 3. So let's take the background fighter who already has some wrestling, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, or whatever it is, and combine him with the well-rounded fighter. What you want to do is become well-rounded in the basics and use that as your superpower. But here's the thing. Everything you do is going to be based on what you do in the training room, 100%. You're not going to have any competition experience that you can lean on. You're not going to have any definitive advantage that you can lean on. Everything you do is going to be based on what you learn from your coaches and your teammates. So you need to train every day, or at least as often as possible, with a core group. You can't have 15 coaches. You can't have 2,000 training partners that are trying to hurt you every day. A core group. And you need to train in volume in terms of the techniques that you do. If the coach says, hey, we're going to work on this combination 10 times, let's say it's a 3-punch combination, that's 30 times. All right? You need to do it 150 times, that same combination. You need to work in a lot of volume because you're playing catch up. And if you're going to have the basics as your super skill, as your superpower, I like my phrase, super skill. If the basics are going to be your super skill, you have to work over and over and over, a lot more than other people are working. And you have to be a student of the game. And when I say that, I don't mean go home and watch every mixed martial arts fight there is in existence. I mean, you study you study your teammates, you study the organization of the training sessions from top to bottom, measure what we did from the beginning to the end, You want to become a true student of the game. Whereas a guy coming from wrestling is going to look at improvements, on a monthly basis. A guy who's well-rounded is probably looking at improvements on a weekly basis. You need to be looking at ways to improve every day. And you need to be told whether or not you're improving. You need to be directed into areas where you need to improve and guided. These are going to be your coaches and your teammates doing that for you every day. Number 4, you can't be well-rounded, you don't have a gift for the basics, and you don't have the experience coming from another competitive sport. You've got to be athletic. And in the fighting context, everyone always goes with power, explosive power. They'll throw in speed. I'll give you speed. So speed is one, but power is not. We want to go with timing and awareness. Speed, timing, and awareness. As long as you weigh whatever you weigh for your weight class, you're going to have power. If you take the mass of your body and amplify it, you're going to have power. So that's why we want to focus on speed, timing, and awareness. Speed is the ability to move from point A to point B, and you weigh whatever, that's going to be amplified. That's your power. Timing is going to be your ability to respond to a particular situation. Awareness is your ability to pick up on that situation. If you can pick up on your opponent's movements, the strokes that he likes to use, and shut him down, and then execute your movements with speed, you'll be fine. You'll win the fight. Very similar to the basic fighter, this is something you need to do on a daily basis to really get good at, is pick up on those little nuances. For instance, timing the first step, when the jab returns back to his body, how to move in behind the jab, things like that. That's awareness. And those things are going to lead to your success, but you have to become very skilled at that ability to read the opponent. And the last one is conditioning. Conditioning. If you can't outwork your fighter, if you can't outthink your fighter, if you can't outskill him, if you don't have the experience, you're just not the most technical person ever. Well, outwork him. Just outwork him. You want to exert for longer than normal periods. So, for instance, we know that amateur fight is 3 minutes per round. You've got to train in a way where you can take 9 minutes of effort and put it into 3 minutes. You've got to be able to reset and go all the time. After every engagement, reset and go again. Reset and go again. Give this guy no days off. And you have to be able to work at varying paces. You have to know how to get into clinch and grind. You have to know how to get into jab range and grind, kick range and grind. The conditioning guy has to be set on receiving pain and delivering pain and having no problem with bringing the pain. Let me say that again. You've got to be good at receiving the pain. I've said that in a very specific order. Receiving the pain. A lot of guys want to give it, but they can't take it. So you've got to be good at receiving the pain. All right? You have to have that mindset ready to understand, hey, I'm going to get hurt. Then you're going to have to give the pain. And when you give the pain, this is a physical thing that I'm talking about. You have to have your tools conditioned, your weapons sharpened. You have to have punched hard enough to know what it feels like to go with sore arms. All right? Maybe not joints, but definitely you want to know that you put in some work that day. And as far as bringing the pain, it's a mindset. So I'll tell you a quick story. I had a fighter once who was really a teammate. I learned this in my fight days. He was a teammate, and he said, hey, I don't know if I can hurt someone, in a fight because of his religion. And here's the thing. The Bible says a man doesn't run a race unless he strives to win. Violence is a violation of another person's personal space, their rights, things that they're entitled to. That's violence. When you violate their personal space. Competition, it's voluntary. It's a willingness. So if you have an opponent who's willing to get in there with you and do the exact same thing that you do and abide by the rules, dude, bring the pain. It's all about mindset. You're not trying to kill him, but you know that the only way to win is to do more than what he's doing. That's the basic premise of competition, right? If you have a basketball game, let's use that example again. Somebody has to win by scoring more points. That's simple logic of competition. So when you get in there, you have to be ready to bring it. So remember, these 5 things for a first-time fighter depends on who you are, what you have in your background. But if you have experience from other competitions, we want to focus on that. If you're a wrestler, I don't want to change you. It depends on how much time I have, don't get me wrong. If I've got only 3 or 4 months, hey, you're a wrestler first. If you want to be a first-time fighter and you only have 3 or 4 months to that fight, you are a wrestler first. If you're going to be well-rounded, you got to pick a focal point. Pick one area of fighting that you like, and then we're going to build around that game. All right? We're going to build around that game. Or you work the basics and you work skillfully every day. I'm going to tell you, it's funny, I mentioned these things. You also can identify the student by these categories. The guys with a little bit more competition experience, they seem to be a little bit louder, a little bit more, they play the role of the leaders in the gym because they have a little bit of experience. The guys who are well-rounded tend to be the guys that you call on to do everything. Hey, I need you to work with this guy. Hey, I need you to do over here. I need you to do this. The basic fighter tends to be a little quieter. He's soaking it all in. All right. Athletic guy. This guy, sometimes you have to pull that guy in. Bring him back in because he's all over the place, but he's talented. And then the conditioning guy, he may not look the part. He's gritty. He's grimy, but he's everybody's buddy. You love that guy because you know he's going to work. He might get submitted. He might get knocked down, but I guarantee you, he's the first to show up, the last to leave, and the guy who's volunteering to do everything. I am Coach Sess. You've had worse with the Mad Coach.